S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you.
Coach, the city of Seattle, known for coffee, grunge music, and, of course, rain. And we're definitely going to get a heavy dose of the last of those three here tonight as you look inside a Wet n Wild CenturyLink field. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football. So are we as the Seahawks up with the Los Angeles Rams.
Mike's by four. 14. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there'll be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
Check. Watch 54. It's a party now.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
To try again after the sack. Wilson. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
4th down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. It'll be just an 18-yard punt, and the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So good field position for the Rams as they come up 1st and 10. Now the 3rd leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. A shotgun snap for Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. To throw is Wilson. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Forced out to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. This throw complete. Wilson finding Lockett. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
He went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. 23 yards the pickup there. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Corey Littleton there on the tackle.
No lack of guts at all on that one. Normally in this situation in the red zone, that type of play isn't run, but I think they're trying to catch a defense off guard and also break tendency. No one really runs that type of a play. Guess what? We are. Let's see how you handle it.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Wilson's pass, intended for Chris Carson, incomplete. Sets up 4th down.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And this is no good. Close, but he misses just left of the upright. We're scoreless after 1. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second.
Touchdown, L.A. Todd Gurley, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys are on the board first here tonight. 1 play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now Rashad Penny looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. There to make the tackle, Samson Abukum.
Brings up second and 10 at the 47-yard line.
I got you.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Completes it to Dixon. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 40.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action?
And this is caught inside the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Hey, lift.
From the gun, here's Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll be 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. Myers, the AFC's Pro Bowl kicker from a year ago. He was 6 out of 7 from 50-plus last year, and he converts another one here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Open man right side is Cup, complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. You know, you wonder how the Rams' game plan in Super Bowl 53 might have been different with a healthy Cooper Kupp. He was injured on November 11, torn ACL, out for the year. But he was on his way to a 1,000-yard season in his second NFL campaign. Had 566 yards in 8 games before the injury. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Steps away to his left. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
58, right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
Wilson throwing again. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Wilson operating from the gun. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And that'll bring up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
76.
Goff on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Watch the pass.
Hey, Shell.
Now it's gone. Looking deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike. It's been a long day for you.
Throwing on 3rd. Gone. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
Remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carson. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Wilson will throw again. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Wilson. And the pressure gets to him again. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is fielded inside the 5. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So we're at halftime with our score 7-6 in a tough-fought first half. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando, standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
He finds an opening past the 40. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Goff. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Delayed give, Goff to Gurley. And an alley to run. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Here goes tonight. Like 20.
Night, night, sweetheart.
On first down, Brown. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun. Gone. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Oh, that one got away from him. Short distance kick missed. No good. Way wide to the right. Zerline, of course, last year had likely the iconic field goal of the season, booting that 57-yarder in the Superdome to send his squad to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you really hurt the Saints fans on that one, didn't you?
Sorry.
They didn't want to hear that at all. But this guy deserves his nicknames. Greg the Leg, Legatron, because the ball goes through the post at a heavy rate. 87% in 2018.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Clay Matthews brings the heat and gets the sack.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
If there's any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels.
Here's Wilson to throw. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Now Goff on first down. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for two. It'll be Carson. They run for it. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for two is snuffed out. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. In search of redemption from the pick six. Goff. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
We go, 76, 76. Hard ball.
On 2nd and 11 now. Goff going up top. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off near the 26. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Wilson now off the bootleg. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. The defensive player of the year, Aaron Donald. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Now it's Wilson. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
What? 280.
Mike 54. All day, just like that.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And this is incomplete, but a flag back at the line of scrimmage. And this could be a first down. Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
Tight, Booker team.
Here we go. Tight end right. Tight end right.
Now Wilson. Oh, no, he lost the football. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
So 2 disastrous running plays, and now they face a 3rd and very long. From the shotgun, Wilson eluding the pressure right. This is caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
At the 4-yard line.
Tight, 380.
54 Mike. Too little, Captain.
19.
Now it's Wilson. His pass caught at the 4. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. He's at the 50, 30, the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half. They give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Following the fumble recovery. Goff. And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their 4th quarter lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And, you know, in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you did.
That one goes for 24 yards. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Clay Matthews able to record his 5th sack of the season. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Value three.
Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A.
You hate to give the ball away here in the 4th quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Let's get it. 58, come on. Right here.
Hang out. Fair.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Check. Watch the twist. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Now Wilson back into his end zone. And the throw there going to be incomplete. 2 huge plays there down the stretch. The sack on 2nd down. Now they force the incompletion. That's going to lead to a do-or-die 4th down.
And they look like they've got the confidence right now that no matter what gets thrown against them, whatever play gets run, they have the ability to shut it down. They're just brimming with it right now.
4th down. Here's Wilson. And he'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. And that disastrous play, partner, is ultimately going to seal their fate in this one, isn't it?
It certainly is, because they gave up the 2 points, but that's not really what did it. It's having to give up the football. And because they gave up the football, guess what? The other team now can take the ball and close this game out.
Let's
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th.
Motion.
2 for 1.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. The Rams on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Goff going to hand it to Gurley. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for L.A., they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.